Our team is Kelly Kren and Blair Williams. We researched the poaching of elephants in Mozambique, Africa, and completed a case in which we used gel electrophoresis to identify the origin of the poached elephant ivory DNA. The following slides discuss our bio-year units and connect them to elephant poaching and gel electrophoresis. First, we have the chemistry of life. Everything in the universe is made up of atoms. Atoms are made of protons, neutrons, and electrons. The four macromolecules that make up life are lipids, carbohydrates, protein, and nucleic acids. These are essential for energy building and the transfer of genetics. DNA is the genetic material that transmits genetic information. It is made of a phosphate group, sugar, and nitrogen space. The gel electrophoresis lab uses DNA to identify where the elephant's ivory came from. Hydrolysis breaks down bonds by addition of water. This aids in digestion of food for elephants.
Unit 3 is about cell structure and function. Cells are the units of life making up all living things. The center of the cell is the nucleus and it contains genetic instruction. The elephant tusk has connective tissue, nerves, and blood cells/vessels, showing that cells work together in tissue. DNA from tissue cells can be used in gel electrophoresis to identify origin of ivory. Cells' metabolic reactions use ATP to power cellular work in a body.
Cellular respiration and photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is the process in which plants and algae convert light energy to chemical energy. The plants that elephants eat get their energy from this. Cellular respiration is the harvest of energy from food. Breathing and eating generates ATP, which is energy for cellular work. Breathing supplies oxygen for use in cellular respiration and removes CO2 from our bodies. Elephants' large lungs produce much CO2, fueling surrounding producers in their environment.
Unit 5 is about cell cycle and mitosis. Cell cycle is the events from when eukaryotic cell is first formed until it divides into two cells. Mitosis is the division of a nucleus into two genetically identical daughter cells. Mitosis occurs in 5 phases: prophase, metaphase, anaphase, telophase, and cytokinesis, dividing of the cells. Elephants use mitosis for growth and repair of cells. In mitosis, chromosomes are separated. Gel electrophoresis lab uses elephant chromosome and DNA and separates them by side.
Molecular biology of the cell. Protein synthesis is how cells build protein. The first step of it is transcription. mRNA is transcribed from a DNA template. The second step is translation. mRNA is translated into amino acids, growing a protein. DNA replication is the process in which the cell makes a copy of its DNA before dividing. Mutations in DNA cause elephant tusklessness. The center of the cell is the nucleus. The replication of DNA makes unique genetic codes in elephants, so the DNA samples can be identified during the gel electrophoresis lab.
Unit 7 is meiosis and heredity. Genes determine inherited organism traits. Meiosis creates genetically unique offspring cells. Poaching changed elephant population genetics over time. Mutations increase variation within elephant population. Genes pass traits between generations organisms. Tusklessness became an inherited survival advantage. Scientists use DNA to study hereditary patterns.
Natural selection and evolution. Evolution is the process in which organisms evolve by genetic changes from population to population. Natural selection is when individuals with favored traits are more likely to survive. An example of natural selection is the poaching of elephants in Africa. This is human-led natural selection. The elephants with tusks are killed for their ivory, while the tuskless elephants are more likely to survive, making it the favored trait. A population is a group of individuals of the same species living in the same area. Darwin's theory of evolution is all life on Earth comes from a shared common ancestor.
Unit 9 is on ecology. Ecology is the study of interactions between living and non-living factors. A biosphere is the sum of all planet's ecosystems. Biotic factors are all of the organisms in the area are the living component of the environment. An abiotic factor is the environment's non-living component, the physical and chemical factors. Elephants interact with biotic and abiotic factors.
The Laudato Si is a document focusing on the care of people, the environment, and Earth, written by Pope Francis in 2015. One line from the Laudato Si says, "It is not enough, however, to think of different species merely as potential resources to be exploited while overlooking the fact that they have value in themselves." This connects to the poaching of elephants. Poachers think of elephants as resources for money gain, overlooking their value as God's creatures. In turn, the document addresses human exploitation of species leading to loss of biodiversity.
A quote from Laudato Si is "Everything is connected. Poaching harms ecosystems and biodiversity. Elephants maintain balance within food webs. Humans responsible for protecting God's creation, and conservation supports ecological sustainability."